up? You're here with CaliberTV here on the IRE Tour. I have with me BJ and Levi of Miss May. How are you guys doing today?
Beautiful. Good? Yeah, very good.
You know, you guys are fresh off Warped Tour. You have Deathless out now. How's the reception been so far of the album?
It's been crazy.
Yeah, the new songs are going over even better than a lot of the old songs we've been playing. So it's been really good.
It's weird. Yeah, we haven't had a record do that ever. So we have like the bangers we always play, but it's crazy to play new songs and the crowd go crazier for new songs and the old bangers. We're like, this is a little special. Something's happening, so we're excited.
You guys put Rise of the Lion out last year, and you guys pretty much went straight to work on this album. And so what kind of inspired, the short amount of time between this album and the last album?
Everybody's ADD. This.
We just had I started writing for the most part most of the album right after the album had actually dropped. So all of Mayhem and Europe that we did that summer, we were just writing and recording all over the world. And we had all these songs, so we were just like, well, I guess we'll do another one.
Especially nowadays, there's so much stuff and so much content coming out all across the board with all these bands. It's not hurting to keep putting content out. So rappers and pop artists do it. There's no reason metal bands can't constantly put content out too.
Yeah, didn't Ariana Grande put out 2 albums in the past 2 years, and I think she's gearing up for another one.
They all ruled.
That sounds about right.
And right here, nobody can see it, but over here, you guys, your little mobile studio looking thing.
Two of them, yeah. Yours it up right now.
Oh, we're about to see some seeds for you.
Yeah, I was gonna do a little shredding today.
Pulling out the Blue Racer?
No, not the Blue Racer, the Spotted Maple Babe.
You got 2 new acts.
Official Ibanez guitars.
So for fans, that probably aren't familiar with this, how would you compare writing on the road versus writing at home or at a studio on the spot with the producer?
When I'm on tour and I'm writing, I always feel I feel like I come up with better ideas on tour than I do at home, which is weird. I'll always just be sitting around playing and I'm just like, whoa, that was really cool. And then at home, when you have all the time in the world on your hands, you sit there and play guitar for 2 hours and you're just like, I can't think of anything. What's going on? So for some reason on tour, there's always a little hint more of a hint of inspiration for some reason. I'm not really sure what it is exactly, but it tends to happen all the time.
And hey, it kills the time between waiting for the show to start.
Kidding,
so
yeah,
I figure, probably it's more. I feel like it's probably more productive, probably working on the road, just because you're probably, like you said yourselves, you guys are traveling around the world. You get inspirations here and there. Mm-hmm. So I figured, maybe writing on the road is probably more effective sometimes than like you said right now, just being just stuck at home trying to force creativity.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And it's a lot better than just sitting on your phone like you do most of the time on tour.
You guys actually, after 5 years and 2 albums later, you guys went back with Joey Sturgis for Deathless. What was the inspiration behind that?
He's just our boy, and we knew he was going to be available, and we figured that was the best way that we were going to have the best possible outcome. And it was just kind of everything just fell into place at that time, and it worked out perfectly. And the end product was one of the best ones we've ever had. And plus Joey, he's just our boy, so we've known him. Yeah, we've known him since we were kids, pretty much.
So what does Joey kind of bring to the table versus Terry Date, who you guys worked with last on Rise of the Lion?
I think with Joey, he's just he's not afraid just to throw out ideas or maybe try this part here, so on and so forth, and change a whole song up as opposed to what we had demoed out before. And that's always good because it's always nice to have that sort of outside influence, that 6-member kind of thing going on, So so you don't just kind of take the exact same demo that you had, just re-record it, and then you just have the same product, and there's no innovation, there's no new inspiration or anything like that.
He's not afraid to say no either. If he doesn't like something, he'll tell you, and he's totally cool with us not liking ideas that he has as well. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that relationship just came after working with him so long and growing up with him. We have that relationship to where we can be honest with each other and be like, hey, I don't like this, or I'm not really liking my idea. Do you have any ideas? And that it's really hard. It sounds easy talking about it, but to have that relationship, because it's all constructive criticism at the end of the day, and it's really hard to it's just really hard to break that barrier, especially with the producer. But we have that broken with him, and it's awesome.
Out of all the songs on the album, which one in particular kind of took longest to come together, or a story about one of the songs, potentially maybe say, like you said, maybe you were waiting to just for that one riff to hit and then boom, it clicked.
I think the one song that ended up changing the most probably when we were in the studio was the one we just dropped the video for, Turn Back the Time. We just had this chorus that I had written, and we liked it, but we didn't like it enough to put it down, and it just took us for some reason forever until we came up with the actual idea. Yeah, and then we figured it out, and we had like other parts saved up from like different songs, and then Joey was just like, well, what if we took that part from that song and move it here? And then we did it, and we just like copy and pasted it, and we were just like, oh, great. That works out perfectly. Yeah, 5 hours later.
Well, now we're on the subject, the video for Turn Back the Time. What was the inspiration behind that, and who came up with the idea for it?
We worked on it with the director Max Moore. He we sort of had never had special effects in the past, and obviously the whole song's about turning back the time and going back in your past and changing some stuff. And so when we knew that idea, we wanted to sort of be literal with it. And I was like, hey, is there any way we can do like stuff going backwards and like slow motion and all this? And like I said, we've never had that before, so I was like ready for him to say no. And he's like, yeah, of course, that'd be great, let's do it. And then he worked on the crazy idea of this guy having this life and everything like breaking down around him, and like the evil clock that's in the video. And it turned out great. So yeah, the whole idea of it is just this guy's life's falling apart, and he's trying to go back and trying to figure out what's making it fall apart. And instead of it literally being something dramatic in his life, the video, it's a little more interesting to have an actual like evil clock in his basement.
So you guys did Warped Tour this past summer. Last year you did Mayhem, and then before that, I would say during the whole Rise of the Lion touring cycle, you guys kind of like stepped out from the usual Warped Tour scene, and you went. I remember one of the tours you went with Trivium, and then another tour you did with Killswitch Engage, and then just hitting like all the radio festivals, and then beginning with this cycle, you're kind of like coming back to this scene. How was that experience like? Just from stepping out and then coming back in?
It was definitely different. We did it though to sort of let that world know that we exist. And obviously the Rise of the Line record sort of had to happen to even open up that door. And it was really great because a lot of people in that world don't even know about this world. So especially this tour, it's amazing to see all these fans coming from those tours and discovering bands like Parkway and Thy Art Is Murder and In Heart's Wake, because they would have never even came to the show if it wasn't for us going out of our comfort zone to play those shows and sort of bridge the gap in between these two different crowds. So it was definitely different, but it was great. It was a cool experiment. It was a great adventure, and yeah, this was really fun.
So let's go and move on to some fun questions here. So if you could have any band on this tour cover one of your songs, what band would you want to see cover?
Parkway Drive.
Parkway Drive, cover Swing. No, I'm just kidding. What would they cover? It'd be cool to see them cover Hey Mister. Yeah. That'd be sick. It'd probably be way heavier somehow. Somehow they'll play the same exact riff, but you're like, damn it.
They would even use our equipment, and it just sounds way better.
Yeah, the vocals are like, why does it sound so much sicker? Yeah.
And if you had to pick 3 albums that would define your life, what albums would you pick?
Let's see, Mano Celoso by Minus the Bear, A Sense of Purpose, In Flames, and any Iron Maiden album. I don't really have a specific one. Yeah, all of Iron Maiden's albums in one album. That's 600 tracks long.
How about you, Levi?
First used self-titled record. Then I'd probably have to say End of Heartache by Killswitch. That was a big one. And then You Only Chasing Safety, Some Under Oath. So that's like my childhood and like my opening of. Actually, yeah, those would be my life records, because that like sort of opened me up to this whole world of music.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you guys like to add?
No, check out our new record, Deathless. It's in stores everywhere. Everything's at missmadmusic.com. Stay metal.
Take me outside.